What's up guys and welcome back to EmKay. My name is Damien and today we're going through another round of r/Tales from Retail. A long time ago when I was attending university, I worked part-time as a baby, yeah, because that's what they did at university. God, I can't read. A long time ago when I was attending university, I worked part-time at a baby boutique that sold really fancy baby items. It's a small store owned by a local family. The return policy was as such. Refunds are credited onto a gift card or exchange only. I know that it was not the most accommodating return/exchange policy in the world, but I didn't make the rules. Refunds were only issued by the owner at her own discretion. Now to the story. A lady comes in, tears pouring down her face, carrying two baptism/christening outfits she purchased a few days ago. She tells me that she has to return those outfits because her baby's twins that she bought them for had just died in the hospital and she needs a refund. My heart just about leaps into my throat and tears start coming down my face as I feel so horrible for this mother. I ask her for the receipt and she says, "I don't have it. But you know that they are from here because you guys are the only ones that carry this brand in town." So I'm like, yes, you are absolutely right. Feeling even more horrible and flustered for even asking, I then say, okay, no worries. I can still put the amount on a gift card for you. This was only followed by a wail of a sob and the lady says, "What am I going to do with a gift card? I don't have any more babies to buy for." Oh my god, I could have just crawled under a table. I was mortified putting this poor woman through this. The owner is on vacation, of course, and I was alone and must say that this was a first for me. I was always trained that under no circumstance were we allowed to give cash refunds, but I mean, come on! This clearly was one of those special situations that surely warranted breaking the rules. I give the lady a full cash refund, and she thanks me and is truly appreciative. She asks me if I know of any other mothers that come in and if I can recommend support groups or bereavement books. I told her that I do not personally know, but I'm sure there's lots of information on our local community board. She says thank you and hugs me, and feeling like I did a good deed, I hug her back and tell her to take care. When my boss returns from vacation, I tell her everything that happened. I was confused that her reaction was a little unfazed. She walked to the computer, did a little inventory check, and finds out that these items were not actually purchased. Wow, though, for real. People suck. Like they were showing that they were still in our store. In other words, this lady stole them and got a cash refund. My boss was able to confirm via security camera that this was true. There were no dead babies, just a sob story. And I felt like an idiot. Don't feel bad, people are terrible. Especially when you're like, just in a cashier position like that, they feel like they can take immediate advantage of you. Hey everybody, I'm back again. I work for a grocery company and every Friday we have Friday only sales. This last week, we had 24 packs of our brand water, 3 for $5. We had sold a ton of them, and corporate realized just how much money we were losing on them, so they told us, no rain checks, no substitutions. Now that we have context, this story happened yesterday, on Saturday. I got told there's a customer on hold that wants to speak to the manager, and being the manager on duty yesterday, I slide into the office and take the call. I'm me, obviously. Water lady is WL. "Thank you for calling blank. This is OP. How may I help you?" "Hello, yes. I'm sitting here looking at your ad. I have a question about something. May I speak to a manager?" "That would be me. What's your question?" "Oh, good. I see that yesterday you had a sale on your cases of water. I wasn't able to make it in to get some. Is there a chance I can come in today and you could honor the price?" "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I'm not able to do that." "Why not?" "Well, if you'll take a look at the ad, it says the water was a Friday-only sale. It's now Saturday, so policy states I can't honor it." "Well, can't you just write me a rain check?" "No, ma'am. Unfortunately, I can't do that either." "Why not?" "Well, first off, if we were to write a rain check, it would have had to been done on Friday. However, we usually don't write rain checks for the Friday-only sales as they are one day only, while supplies last deals." "Well, that's false advertising." "It's false advertising? How so?" "Because I didn't get an opportunity to buy the water on Friday and now you won't honor the price." "Well, that's not really false advertising. It was a one-day only sale. You didn't come in, so I can't really do anything about that." "This is outrageous. I want to speak to a manager." "I am a manager." "Well, I want to speak to the manager in charge." "That would also be me." "Well, you know what? Screw you. I'm gonna call corporate. This is unbelievable. What kind of customer service is this when you won't honor a sale just because I didn't come in on the day of the sale?" And that's when she hung up. I'm inclined not to believe that last sentence. No one can be that stupid where they say the exact reason why you're not honoring the sale and their complaint about you not honoring the sale. I refuse to believe that. I work at a grocery store and we close at 11 p.m. I make closing announcements 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and then the actual closing announcement. There's this lady who is continuing to shop after we closed. A night crew member goes up to her and goes, "Ma'am, we're closed." She ignores him. He says it again. Ignored. He says it again and she goes, "I know." All nasty. So 10 minutes after closing, I decide to call the police to escort her out. The police and the lady are arguing in the parking lot and one of the cops walk up to me and goes, "She talking crazy." I give my side of the story, and because she got so aggressive, police had to ensure she wouldn't come after me or my coworker as we walked to our cars. Now, I don't care if you need to grab like 1 or 2 things more after I made the closing announcement, but if you continue to shop and then be rude to an employee when you know we closed 10 minutes ago, then it's extremely rude and inconsiderate. So I work at a craft store, and yesterday I worked my first 8-hour shift. Ooh, how was that? And for some reason, a ton of whack people decided to come through my store yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. So here's a collection of stories. We were pretty busy around noon, and we don't have very many carts. I'm up front working cash register, and a lady comes up to me. "Do you have any more carts?" "Sorry, I just sent someone out to look for carts. Looks like all of our carts are in use at the moment." "Oh, okay. Can you look again?" Me having just checked like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, sure. I radio in and ask someone if they can go since I have a bit of a line. The lady just hovers next to the cash register and stares at me. I'm kinda uncomfortable, but I just keep on keeping on and ringing people up. After a few minutes, the lady clears her throat pointedly and I look over. "Okay, this is unacceptable. I'm going next door to Red Circle store, and if there aren't any carts when I get back, you're going to be in huge trouble." I went on my lunch before she came back, so I don't know how that ended. A lady comes in with a return. Okay, no biggie. She pulls out 5 bias tapes and 2 receipts and puts them on the counter. "Okay, here's the deal. I bought this bias tape at the store in neighboring city. They were all 20% off. But I decided to exchange a few of them for another color and then buy some more, and I didn't get the discount." "Oh, did you want to return these and re-ring them up with a discount?" "No, I just want the discount on the entire purchase." "Well, I can't give you a discount on your whole purchase if you don't have all the product here with you." "I already sold the other bias tapes. Can't you return the ones I have and tack on the extra amount?" Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that since I need the actual product to be able to do the return." Ugh. "Okay, here's the deal. Why don't you return these, and when you ring me up, give me a discount of $5.60 to make up for the discount I didn't get." Me not wanting to incur the rage of a middle-aged white lady. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Well, turns out the computer didn't want me to do that. I called my manager to deal with it because I was so confused, and I guess she was able to appease her. You're my hero, manager. This one is a little shorter and less whack. I was ringing up this lady who had a 5-year-old girl with her. The mom puts a few things down, and the little girl puts down 2 bottles of pink glue next to it. I ring up all the mom's things, then grab a bottle of glue and scan it. The mom yells, "Wait, no!" and she lunges across the counter and grabs it from my hand. The mom said the daughter had put it down without asking and she wasn't getting it. I, in shock, just go, okay, and void the one I'd scanned. Too long didn't read, middle-aged white ladies in a craft store are not a force to be reckoned with, and that's on the 10 Commandments. I work in a very small store, in a very small community, and have worked there for over a year now. This particular store is surrounded in very small houses, usually occupied by the elderly and middle-aged single mothers, with their multiple kids, and the younger customers are all usually on financial aid of some kind. Now, I love my job on most days. Usually everyone is friendly and I have a hilarious and lovely group of regulars that I love to speak with. However, this time I had a night of almost no sleep and had to serve all the usual jobless alcoholics and junkies in the area that morning. So I was a force to be reckoned with on this morning. I tried my best to be upbeat and friendly with everyone because my mood had nothing to do with them whatsoever, and they didn't deserve to see it. Until she walks in. Let's call her Old Lady. She is an elderly lady, clearly, who comes in every second day, almost never speaks to the employees, and is usually not an issue for us. But this morning, she was an absolute nightmare for absolutely no reason. A bit of necessary detail for all of you. My store has a checkout policy, where you only need to call for someone else to jump onto another register and serve customers if there are more than 3 customers waiting. Otherwise, 1 is enough. And I have over 4 years of retail experience. I'm 21. So I am lightning fast on the register and can serve those 3 people within a minute. I am serving 1 man in front of me, another man is behind him, and Old Lady is behind the second man. When Old Lady joins the line of customers, I am just finishing serving the first man and moving on to the second when I hear her complain to another customer. "They're supposed to ring for someone else." Another employee, she says in a very grumpy voice. I couldn't hear what the other customer says, but he doesn't sound at all unbothered. I ignore her and continue to serve the man in front of me while I hear her continue to complain about me in the background. I finish serving my customer, and an old lady walks up to me with her basket of items. I smile and say, "Good morning," and begin scanning her items. She leans forward on the counter and glares daggers at me.
"You are supposed to call for someone else when there's people in the line."
She growls at me slowly as if scolding a child. I feel my heart begin to race, but I try my best to keep calm. I have an anxiety disorder and do not cope well with confrontation, especially when I've done nothing wrong, so I tend to get upset very easily. I explained the policy to her as politely as I could, that I do not have to call for another employee unless there are more than 3 people waiting. When she joined the line, there were only 2.
"I don't care, you're supposed to call."
"I just served you within 15 seconds of you joining the line."
"You all think you're effing clever in here, don't you?"
She grumbles as she pulls out her purse to pay for her items. My eyes widen to the size of dinner plates and I feel my heart beat faster. I feel the anger rising. "Excuse me?" I ask, and she shakes her head as if she didn't even hear me.
"Stupid bee,"
she grumbles as she places her card in the card reader. That was it. That crossed the line for me. I press the button on my screen to cancel the transaction, and she briefly freezes the machine, refuses her card. She looks up at me in anger and gives me a face that says, "What?" "I'm not going to serve you if you're going to speak to me that way." I sound quite firm, but on the inside I am angry and not in the mood to deal with the disrespect. She just scoffs, pushes her basket of items toward me, which I take, and continues to cuss me out.
"You all think you're effing clever in this shop,"
she yells at me, and I somehow manage to contain the tears.
"Fine, take this stuff, stupid effing bee."
She continues as she storms out of the shop. I turn to face the new line of customers that have formed during this confrontation, and I notice that everybody is looking at me in sympathy. I take a deep breath to try and steady my now racing heart rate, and say to the man in front of me, "You can't demand a service while simultaneously insulting those providing it for you," and take another breath before I begin to serve him. He smiles in response to what I said and attempts to pay for his items with his card. That's when I notice. Old lady had left her bank card in the card reader. I let out a short laugh and say, "Karma," before placing it on the counter behind me, making the customers laugh too. A few customers in the line gave me a thumbs up, letting me know I was not in the wrong and that I did the right thing, but I was still extremely shaken up. My anxiety does not allow me steady emotions at this moment in time, and I did end up calling for a coworker to take over my register while I disappeared into the back of the store for a quick cry and panic attack. Well, sorry. My supervisor was supportive and brought me a glass of water, assuring me that I did the right thing before leaving me alone for 10 minutes until I felt well enough to return to work. Old lady did not return to the store to retrieve her bank card until a few days later. She got confronted by my supervisor for cussing at members of staff, but she denied everything. My supervisor didn't believe her, later told me it was because she'd done this before, and I have not seen her since. Sorry if it's a bit anticlimactic, but seeing her leave her card behind did give me a great deal of satisfaction that I'm sure I would have enjoyed more if I weren't literally about to burst into tears at any second. Hey y'all, this is just a short little memory from my old job. I'll be me, and my clueless coworker will be CC. Okay, so I worked at a gas station for about 5 months working the 2 to 10. When I moved to a new town with friends, I had to switch to overnights, 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. at a location in my new town. On my first night there, I had someone there to help since there was different tasks for an overnight than the 2 to 10 shift I was used to. This guy was so clueless and completely lacked social awareness. Do you like D&D? Not really. Look at this meme. The meme is D&D related. I don't get it. It's D&D. Yeah, and I just told you that I don't really like D&D. The clueless coworker continues to show me his D&D related things until he leaves at like 3 a.m. This guy didn't even show me how to do the things I needed to do, but I only lasted 4 shifts there anyway. Fuel clerk. A man came to pay for gas and gave me the most ridiculous request I've ever heard in my life. I got gas from one of your stores in nearby city and their gas is cheaper. Can you guys match that for me? I got the receipt right here. Me, in complete disbelief. What? I just need a little more gas and it's more expensive here. Can you just match the price for me since I have the receipt? No, we can't change the price of our gas unless we're being told to by corporate. Sorry. That doesn't make sense that you can't honor their price. You're the same company. Can you call someone and see if you were supposed to lower it to what they have it at? No, they call us when it's time to change the price. I'm sorry. Can I speak to a manager about it? Me, in emotional pain. Yes, it'll be a minute because I have to call them and they have to walk down here. We're part of a grocery store. He literally waited for 10 minutes for a manager to show up and tell him the same thing I did. He ended up leaving without getting gas at all. This happened a couple years ago, but I was just reminded of it. I'll set the scene. I worked at a costume shop that also sold dancewear, situated right downtown in a big city. We were pretty quiet most days, with just a few fitting appointments for dance shoes. Some drag queen shopping for wigs or tights? Hell yeah. It's some SFX artists picking up scab blood on an average day, excluding Halloween season when crap hit the fan. High key, I'd love to work at a costume shop. So I'd been there for around a year and was regularly opening and closing. We opened at 10 and closed at 6, so I'd sometimes do both in the same shift. That fateful day, I'd opened and was tired after a long day of busy work organizing the giant basement storage area. It was around 5:30 p.m. at this point and was expecting to get one more customer max before close. I sent my coworkers home, leaving just me and my supervisor. As soon as they're gone, it's probably 5:45 at this point, I get a phone call. Hello, store name, how may I help you? Hi, thank God I got someone. I've been calling and no one is answering. That's strange, the phone wasn't ringing until just now.
Well, I called and no one picked up.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. How can I help you?
Well, now that I finally got someone on the phone, I need directions.
Directions to our store? We're located at...
Yes, I know where you are, but I don't know where I am and how to get there. I need directions.
Well, I'm not sure I can help with that if you don't know where you are. I can give you directions if you can tell me the intersection closest to you.
I told you I don't know where I am. I can't see any street signs. You should be able to direct me to your store.
I'm sorry you're having trouble finding us. We are located at blank and blank street near the blank, well-known city landmark. If you can manage to find a street sign, I could let you know exactly which direction to go.
I know where you are, but I don't know where I am. This isn't complicated. I need directions now.
After going back and forth for a while, all the time trying to explain that I can't give directions without a start point, and I don't have a GPS tracker attached to you, lady, she eventually sees a street sign and we figure out where she is and how she could get here. Keep in mind, it is now 5:55 p.m. and we close at 6. I'm so glad we got that figured out. Unfortunately, though, it will take you at least 15 minutes to get here from your current location, and we close in 5 minutes.
Well, that's just fine. I just have one thing to buy.
Regardless of the number of things you need to buy, we will be closed when you get here. Maybe you can come back another day?
Just keep the store open for me.
Unfortunately, that's not possible. We are required to close the gate and the till at 6 p.m. on the dot by management.
Your manager won't mind. You're making money off me.
The one item you want to buy isn't worth staying open past close.
That's ridiculous. Just keep the gate open. It's your fault I'm late anyway.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but how is it our fault?
You didn't give me directions like I asked. If you'd just given me proper directions, I would have already arrived.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm going to have to hang up now because we close in 1 minute and I need to grab the keys for the gate.
Just leave the gate open for me.
I'm sorry, we can't do that. You can come, but we won't be opening the gate. I hang up. A few minutes after locking the gate and the door and turning most of the lights off, I'm standing at the till counting the cash in full view of the sidewalk through the gate and glass door. The lady finally arrives at 6:15 at this point and started banging on the gate demanding to be let in. My supervisor goes out the side door and comes around to let her know we're closed, and if she continued to bang on our gate, we'd have to ask her to leave the premises. She yells at her for a few minutes before storming off. Turns out the one item she wanted to buy was a clown nose. Huh, how fitting, because this lady is a direct clown. We sold those for $1 each. Definitely profit substantial enough to keep 2 employees a quarter of an hour past close. I volunteer at a charity shop. I spend a lot of my time at the front with the customers. This means that I see a lot of people and come across all sorts. The best. During a quiet period, a young boy, probably 6 or 7 years old, came into the shop accompanied by a woman who I assumed was his grandmother. They looked around for a while before coming up to the counter, where we have a small display of knitted chicks. These chicks are, as the name suggests, knitted chicks in a variety of colors. The bonus is that they contain a chocolate egg as a treat. The boy sees them, and then the following conversation takes place.
I like the look of these. Oh, they're pretty. Look, there's even an egg inside. I think I'll get one.
The boy now addressing me.
How do I get the egg out?
I pick up one of the chicks. You cut along this thread here. It's separate from the rest of the chick, so it won't unravel. The boy is silent for a moment.
I've changed my mind about getting one. Why's that? Well, I don't want to kill the chick to get the egg.
At this point, I had to stop myself from bursting out laughing. Professional demeanor and all that, while the woman attempts to convince the boy that the chick will be alright. He's not convinced and they both leave without purchasing anything. As soon as they were out of sight, I laughed so hard I had a coughing fit. And that brings us to the end of r/Tales from Retail, and boy oh boy, that's a marathon of a read. If you liked the video, leave a like down below, comment down below. Oh no, about how it's not Slazzo? That's mean, I'm sorry. But if you really like the video, subscribe. As always, I'll be seeing ya.